Today, we are going to crack the code on what makes a prototype truly great. And spoiler alert, it's not about packing in more flashy features. Nope, it's all about mastering visual consistency, creating an experience that feels so right, so seamless that it wins people over before they even know what's happening. So let's just jump right in. Have you ever been using an app and something just feels off? You know, where every single tap takes you to what feels like a slightly different app? That disjointed, kind of confusing feeling? That's exactly what we're going to fix. And this right here really says it all. I mean, look at the left. That's visual chaos. It's a mess of different fonts, buttons, and colors, all screaming for attention. But on the right, that's cohesive harmony. And that chaotic feeling isn't just you being picky, it's the result of real inconsistencies that don't just look bad, they actually damage how much a user trusts what you've built. Yeah, see, this isn't just about making things look pretty. This is where it gets serious, because inconsistency has real, tangible costs that can quietly sabotage your whole project. First things first, a messy design just feels untrustworthy. It's true. To a user, it can look unprofessional, maybe a little unfinished, maybe even a little sketchy. And just like that, you've lost their confidence before they've even really started. And next up, it actually makes your user's brain work way harder than it needs to. Think about it. Instead of focusing on what they want to do, say ordering a pizza, they're stuck trying to figure out your unpredictable layout. It's mentally draining and it's totally avoidable. And finally, all that inconsistency just destroys any sense of flow. If a next button looks different on every single page, a user can never learn the rules of your app. What should feel intuitive becomes a confusing chore when it really should feel completely effortless. You know, this whole thing really boils down to one key idea from psychology: cognitive load. It's just a fancy term for that mental exhaustion we were talking about. So, picture this. Your user has a mental budget for paying attention. Every little inconsistency makes them spend some of that budget on just figuring out the interface, leaving less for what they actually came to do. Inconsistency is a user experience budget killer. So, how do we fight back against all this chaos? How do we get that beautiful harmony we saw a minute ago? Well, you need one powerful tool in your corner: a style guide. Seriously, think of it as the superhero that swoops in and brings order to your entire design universe. So, what is a style guide? It's basically the official rulebook for your design. It's the one place that lays out everything, from the exact hex codes for your colors, to the fonts you use for headlines, to how much space goes between elements. It takes all the guesswork out of it. And honestly, getting started is way simpler than it sounds. It's just a clear 3-step process. First, you define your rules, get them all figured out. Then you document them in one central spot so everyone's on the same page. And finally, and this is the absolute key, you apply those rules everywhere, consistently, without exception. And when you really commit to this system, oh, the rewards are awesome, and they are immediate. Your prototype stops being just a bunch of screens and starts becoming a truly great connected experience. The payoff is just huge. You end up with something that looks and feels polished and super professional. You start building a brand that people actually recognize and remember. But the most important part, you empower your users. You let them navigate by instinct so they can put all their focus on what they came there to accomplish in the first place. Which really brings us to the big takeaway here. Consistency isn't just some arbitrary design rule. It is the clearest signal you can send that you're a professional, that you care about the details, and, most of all, that you have a deep respect for the person on the other side of the screen. So that leaves us with one last really important question I want you to ask yourself. Take a good, hard look at what you're building. Is it just a collection of screens that happen to live together, or is it a single, unified, cohesive experience? Because now you know, that answer makes all the difference in the world.